Well, the financial bid is no doubt very important, and we think we've made a very competitive offer. But in terms of our credentials beyond the financial bid, I think we have an undisputed reputation around the world as a steel company to acquire and grow steel businesses. So I think if you were to look around the world and see if anybody has done things to the same scale as ArcelorMittal, you would find it very difficult to find an equivalent. So we have a very long and deep experience. We have a massive and very capable management team around the world from which we can draw. We have experience in every type of operation that is being run at Essar Steel, starting from their pelletizing operations through to their primary operations in terms of running arc furnaces, in terms of running con-arc, in terms of running blast furnaces, their Corex process. We have every one of these processes somewhere in our group with the experience to run them at world-class standards. So we think our qualifications go beyond, well beyond the financial bid that we may make, and the market presence that we have as well globally, the range of products that we can start producing in time that the Indian market may need, for which we have capability around the globe already and are expanding that capability year by year. We have an enormous R&D budget. I think our R&D capability is second to none in the world. We are ranked, as a result of that, our technology performance with the automotive industry. Out of 23 OEMs that we serve around the globe, 21 of them rate us as number one. So, you know, we have, I think, the management depth, the experience, and the vision for the future with products and process technology to bring this business to a substantially better performance than it would have done without us.
Hi there, Mr. Rana. Thanks for joining in. Avan here. Can you the only other bidder for Essar Steel is LN Mittal, which is an offshore company, and its shareholders are Russian companies and the son of the Essar founder. Do you think life becomes easier for you to win the bid because you seem to have more experience?
Well, I don't think life is easier or easy for us relative to anybody else. And I really don't want to make a comparison because we've not studied this competitor in a lot of depth. We just put our own credentials forward and let them speak for themselves. And when we do an analysis of our own, just with other existing steel makers around the globe, we don't see an equivalent who could come in and deal with this business the way we might. And that would include anybody else you might have in mind, as you've just said it.
Okay, so Brian, you've talked about your global expertise and the strong management team that you have to rely on. But, I can't help but notice that your bid for Essar Steel, which you're yourself calling very competitive, is coming at a time when steel prices are shooting up. They're clearly in the upswing. So are you striking for Essar Steel when the iron is literally hot?
No pun intended, I assume. But, the issue with steel prices is that they're cyclical. So I think the point in the cycle probably is not driving the decision-making here. It's the opportunity and the timing of the opportunity itself, which has presented itself. So, we think that the economy in India will support good steel pricing going forward. And this asset would be a great participant in the Indian steel economy, contributing towards the goals that the Indian Prime Minister has set up for Made in India. And with us behind Essar Steel, we can probably start producing whatever is needed for the Indian economy. No matter what the product would be, I think within our group, we have the capability to finally deliver.
At also Essar Steel to service the overseas market and as an export hub?
Well, I think to the extent that it can export competitively, I don't think we would ever exclude that. But I think the growth in the Indian economy itself would absorb a lot of what Essar can produce. And so I think the primary interest is in serving the Indian economy first. And if there are opportunities outside, of course, we will take advantage of those.
Now, India, as you said at the start of the interview, is an important but difficult market to break into. Have you managed to turn around distressed assets in other difficult markets?
Absolutely. We've done it in Poland. We've done it in Ukraine. We've done it in Kazakhstan. We've done it in many places where in different cultures and different organizations existed, different political climates. So we certainly have a great deal of experience in acquiring assets and then fitting them into our overall organization and turning them around. That's what I was pointing out earlier, as a matter of fact. I don't think anyone else has a similar track record. You know, we've taken businesses even after the mergers and grown them. In Brazil, we've grown from, 3.5 to almost 7.5 million tons of products that we're producing from our flat division. So wherever we go and wherever we take over, we try to make those businesses very streamlined and able to succeed in the environment in which they operate.
Okay, so Brian, then if India is such an important market for ArcelorMittal, I have to ask you, are you also looking at other distressed assets in India? You are seeing a lot of stressed assets that are on the block. The banks are looking to sell them, to revive the businesses. These are all very large NPAs. Some of them are supposed to be excellent assets. So are you looking at any of them?
Well, I think if you know the ArcelorMittal DNA, we will be looking at whatever opportunities make sense. So whether something's going on right now or not, I think is probably not the main issue. But I think given our DNA, I think that you can imagine that on an ongoing basis, if opportunities present themselves, ArcelorMittal will be there to take a look.
Brian, if you're talking about your DNA, then, deep pockets is also part of the ArcelorMittal DNA. That's something I'm guessing you don't have to be too worried about while bidding for Essar, the financial bid that at the start of this interview you've described as competitive. So if you have deep pockets, you don't have to worry about it denting your balance sheet?
Well, I think the management of our balance sheets probably is also been well done in the last few years. I think we've brought our debt down to very, very manageable levels. And I think our CFO is better equipped to speak about this particular topic. But yeah, we are able to absorb the investments that we undertake within, the parameters that our lenders expect.
Okay, Brian, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us here on ET Now, all the way from Belgium. So there you go, that's the Executive Vice President and the Global Strategy Head of ArcelorMittal, clearly overseeing that bid for